So we are here for the NCAA Women's College Soccer Scores for Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. So Cornell defeats Lafayette 4-0 in a midweek non-conference. It's a midweek non-conference for these teams, as Cornell on a Tuesday night, which usually most women's college soccer games are Wednesdays and Saturdays, or Thursdays and Sundays. There's a few that might play Fridays, and there's some that might play like Mondays, Tuesdays, but very few and far between. But maybe earlier in a non-conference you might, but typically a lot of times it's more Wednesdays and Saturdays, especially now in conference play. In Cornell, they've scheduled to play non-conference now. Cornell in the Ivy Leagues, they only play 7. There's only 8 teams in the Ivy League, so you play the other 7 teams once. In women's soccer, you don't play each team twice, so you don't play teams twice unless it's like conference tournament. Or if depending on how many teams you have in conference, you might play them for the first time. So yeah, and then that's why they did that, because Cornell is so they want to get more games in, so they play midweek non-conferences, like when they have no games, to be able to play their maximum number of games, because all of these schools, they want to get their maximum number of games in, as many points as they can. There's a limit to how many games you can play in the season overall as a whole. So with the conference slates, all these sports, these schools want to play all the games they possibly can. I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. I would too. And then on Wednesday here, October 8th, we have some games going right here. We have Metrolank Athletic Conference, Cornelia, and I'm gonna show you some women's soccer along with some women's volleyball. And that'll be before the WNBA Finals. Game 3 is on between the Phoenix Mercury at the Las Vegas at the Phoenix Mercury. It is Game 3 of the WNBA Finals series. So I'm going to be showing you that. I'm going to be watching that tomorrow at Eastern. This is Central Time, so 2 Eastern. In the Metrolank Athletic Conference, it's going to pick at Marist. 3 Eastern on televised one. It could be on school websites or YouTube. Some of them are on school websites or YouTube. Or some of these conferences have like the Mountain West is one for all games, but that's only on the MW.com or the Mountain West Network app. Then you see front row. That's something like America East at TV. They have it because they used to be on America East at TV for their games. Then they went to ESPN Plus for a lot of their sporting events. Not all of them, but a good bit of them are on America East at TV. And some like these sports are on school websites, or they're on there's not televised because they televise the volleyball match they're playing that day, or or they're on school websites. Some are, it just depends. And that's at 3 Eastern. 3 Eastern, South Carolina State is usually in the MEAC. However, South Carolina State is independent in Division I women's volleyball. They are not affiliated with a conference. South Carolina State is not. And the reason of that, in South Carolina State has not been able to find a conference for women's college soccer that would take them. I mean, they're still able to schedule games, but either they want to be able to play in the MEAC for all the sports that they have, no matter what sports, or so they'll say, well, we're just going to independent, and if the meet till we can be in the MEAC, maybe. I know they were, so that's at 3 Eastern against Charleston Southern of the Big South. Secrecy's Division I Independent Women's Soccer. I know Chicago State was Division I Independent, but they were Division I Independent in all sports, though. They weren't just independent in ones for like South Dakota State is women's soccer, women's soccer. Justin Southern's all the Big South. Ryder at Iona at 3 Eastern. St. Peter's at Manhattan. Mountain Series at Fairfield at 4 Eastern. Then we have NJT at Pennsylvania. America at Sacred Heart. And that's a 9-conference between NJT out of the America East and Pennsylvania out of the Ivy League. And then America at Sacred Heart out of the Directors of that conference. Then we have the West Coast Conference with Washington State Series at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, 5 Pacific Eastern, San Diego, Portland, 6 Pacific. Then Gonzaga, Oregon State at San Francisco, and 7 Pacific for Brant Sackler and Pacific at CIU. That's for Wednesday. And then Thursday, there's a lot more school games on the majority of the conference games are scheduled for Thursday, as you can see right here. And I'll be able to show you them on Thursday until, because I want to watch USC Minnesota women's soccer. So, but other than that, I'll be showing you pretty much every single game they can up until about that point.